one thing, you're something else. Hey, Bessiette. How are you? See, my phone is trying to not be stable. I think that's going to work. Okay. Take the cord out. Acting a little kooky, but it's okay. Hey, everybody. I hope the live will be better tonight than it was last week, but it wasn't just me that had a lot of issues with the internet, buffering and cutting off and that type of thing. So let's hope that it'll be okay. Because I went back and I watched the live from last week, and there were a lot of questions that weren't answered, and I wrote them down, and I'm going to do my best to answer them all today. And I always tell you guys, if I don't know the answer, I will direct you to where you can get the answer, because nobody knows everything. I am a very confident person, but I don't know everything. And I'll let you know what I don't know. And the main things that I don't know too much about is tropical fruit trees, because it's very difficult for me to grow them in my area. However, I am growing some. And you can look directly behind me, and you will see the soursop trees growing. Some people say they can't take temperatures below 40 degrees, 40 Fahrenheit. And my research has taught me that some people believe they can't take temps under 50 degrees. And I'm inclined to believe the 50 degrees is correct. Okay, I'll turn that off. Because when I left my soursops outside, and it wasn't quite 40 degrees, they went into shock. And so I brought them in the greenhouse, and they did even worse. They dropped all of their leaves. And then I was doing some research, and I discovered that they don't like a high humidity. So I brought them in the house where there is less humidity because of the central heat, and all of the leaves came back. This is my third year growing those two trees from seeds right over my shoulder. And I'm praying and claiming that they will produce fruit next year. And get out the way so you can see them a little better. But so I don't know about papayas and mangoes, because those trees get relatively tall, and it's just me, and I don't like to have to call people over every time I want to move something. I want to be independent. So I'm not going to try to grow papaya and mango. I'm stopping with the soursops. Now, I do have a Calamondin that I divided, by the way, yesterday, and I'll show you that in the video, probably either Tuesday or Wednesday. And I do have a Miho Satsuma. And then, of course, you guys know that I have two improved Meyer lemon trees, dwarf, and two Mexican key lime dwarf trees. And they are all in the greenhouse except for the Calamondin. And we're not supposed to have temperatures lower than 40 degrees from now until Thanksgiving. So I have those trees potted up. I have them on little plant caddies. Sometimes I call them dollies, but they're little plant caddies, and you can roll them across the patio and maybe even on the wood chips and struggle a little bit and get them inside if I have to. Okay, so I want to say hello to everybody here. Best Yet was the first one in. Broke Farmer 76, Deborah Kohler, Truth, Love, and Light. Miss B. Washington. Myra, nice to see you. Hoyt Robinson is here. Erica Jones. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Wanda. Quintella Harrington. Arkansas Woodcutter. Thank you for inviting me, Arkansas Woodcutter, to enter the Shed Wars during next year, but I have too much on my plate. But I'm sincere. I consider it an honor that you would want me to participate. But my company, my natural hair and skincare company, I do everything, and it's taking up a lot of my time. And I'm blessed, and I thank God for that. So I can't participate in that. Catherine Jones is here. Ewan. Debbie Epps is here. Hi, good evening, everybody. Mason Gone with Mama Nature is here. Plants love, and they will love you back. Yes, they will. I love fall gardening. Should have a mess of mixed greens by Thanksgiving. All right. Hoyt. I went to Kroger's to pick up my prescriptions. And there was a lady coming out with a big bag of several bags in her hand of greens. And I know y'all think I'm crazy, but I wanted to stop her and say, would you like to learn how to grow those greens? It's very easy to do. But I didn't. But I wanted to. Next time, I'm going to start having a card with me for the website. And then maybe I can just give them the card. Okay, I brought my moringa tree inside, and it dropped all of its leaves. Should I take it outside? No, Erica, just leave it there and water it like you normally would. Try to put it in a sunny window or a south-facing window, or put a grow light. I don't know if you can see right over here, but I have a front porch. It's an overhang. So that's not facing south. South is over here by the patio doors, but I have Bria over there. So I'm going to turn on the light real quick and show you how I supplement light during the day. So I have it set up. All I have to do is flip a switch. And if you look at it, you can see that it dropped a lot of leaves. But I'm going to do a close-up and show you guys that it's putting on new leaves, little baby leaves. And Brie was in school and I saw it this morning. And I went, oh! She got out of her desk and chair and ran over to see what I was screaming about. I forgot she was in school. So it dropped a lot of leaves, but it's coming back. So don't worry about it. Who was that telling me about the leaves, moringa leaves? Yeah, that'll come back. Hi, Garden Girl. Hi, Main Course Encouragement. Hi, Aunt Tia. Barb Brownlee. I don't know if somebody hit your comment, but I want to see these comments. Hello, Lady Cheryl. Loving my hair promoter product. Working great on my itchy, dry scalp. Thank you. I will put it on my website if I have your permission. You can just type in yes in all caps, and I'll go back and put it in. Hi, Susie. Polidor. Okay. And Sylvia, I hope I'm saying your name correct. You're loving the products you ordered. Now, I don't remember exactly what you ordered. What did you order, dear? Sylviara. Let me know what you ordered and what do you like about them, because that will help me, put, I'm doing a web page on my site that says what people are saying about our products. And then people emailing me or texting me, those that are real, have my home number. Hi, Dana. And so, yeah, if you just tell me, oh, hair growth promoter and the body oil. I remember filling your order because your name is so unusual, first and last name. And I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Everyone here that has given me the opportunity to show you my products by buying them, I want you to know that I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart, because you don't have to do it. It's a lot of other companies out there, big and small, but I'm very, very appreciative of you just giving me a chance. And it makes my heart flutter when I get an email notification that somebody who I sold a product to in August or September has reordered or reordered something else. And that's what it's all about. It's having a satisfied customer and repeat business. When I was teaching beauty school all those years, I taught beauty school a long time. I always told my students, don't chase the money. Chase the satisfaction that you get when a customer likes what you do. Because you're going to be rewarded financially when they like what you do. So chase that feeling that you get when they look in that mirror and they go, oh, I like this. They're automatically going to pay you. And they're going to come back. So don't chase the money. And it's the same thing with the products for me. When I get a repeat customer or a customer that said, I like your products and I'm ordering this for my daughter, like Miss McCain. I can't remember your first name right now, but we got some stuff in common. We're survivors that ordered for her daughter. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. Good evening, Maureen. Container Crops, hello. Blessed too, hello. Okay, so here we go. First time commenting, Rose, thank you. 111, appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. Okay, what says, I work in a grocery store and I see these customers buy greens by the cases because they're 2 for $1. They really think that is a sale. Yep. And we don't know what's been sprayed on those greens, and we don't know how long those greens been there or in the back or where they shipped them in from. Brownlee, the hair growth promoter. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Wanda B says she loves the hair growth promoter and her daughter loves the hair milk. Now, I'm going to tell you something about the hair milk. The hair milk has a lot of shea butter in it. And if you bought it in August or September and it's been in a hot mail truck, it might be a little thin. But all you have to do is put it in the refrigerator and shake it occasionally. Because now that the weather is getting cooler, it's trying to separate. Now, I can put a chemical in there that will emulsify it. Or I can put beeswax or emulsifying wax. But that's not good for your hair. So just shake it up a little bit, okay? Nobody has called to complain about it or email me to complain about it. I'm just telling you. I notice as the weather's getting cooler, you got to shake it up a little bit because I use it every day. Main encouragement says the right people will come. Don't chase the money. That's right. Chase giving a good service. Those of you that are selling your products to the farmers market, Angela Busy Bee's garden. She has a portion of her garden dedicated to take the food to the farmer's market and sell it. And she has a beautiful granddaughter named Ava. You all go check her out if you're interested in that. If you have enough land and you want to make some extra money doing what you love to do, check out Angela's Busy Bee's Garden and Homestead. Okay? I really admire what she's doing. And you can learn a lot from her. Okay, everybody? All right. Broke Farm, I use 511. What else can I put in my vegetables? Now, I heard people saying 511. I know where that came from. You're talking about fish emulsion. For those people that don't know what that is, 511 is the nutrients, meaning that it has a lot of nitrogen. And that's good for fall crops like greens. But I tell people over and over and over, do not use that on peppers and tomatoes and flowers, things that need to bloom and turn into fruit or flower. Because I get so many emails telling me that they're using that. That's all they use. And their peppers didn't make any peppers, or their tomatoes didn't make any tomatoes. There's no one size fit all. So, Broke Farmer, I'm glad that you are saying that. Tomorrow morning or Wednesday morning, you will see me using compost tea. I just got 4 empty 5-gallon pails. You can get it from any big box store. I got from the HD. And when I go around pulling up weeds out of my garden boxes or my wood chips, I put them in that empty pail. And then I put rainwater in it. And I let them ferment. Weeds, grass clippings, I have my front lawn done by a company. And I'll take those clippings and I put it in there. And what it does is it ferments and turns into a liquid fertilizer. Okay? Thank you, Best Yet, for putting Angela Busy Bee Homestead information. You know I appreciate you. And while you there, Best Yet, you was going to be next that I was going to talk about. Go ahead, please, and put your channel name in there, because I saw Best Yet and her daughter. And she's so cute. She was dancing behind her mother's back on the video. They were taking black plastic and some clear plastic, and they were laying it over the area where they want to smother out weeds so they can get ready for the spring. So those of you that live in climates, let's say zone 6 on down, and you may not have a garden, now is the time to start prepping your in-ground beds, your raised garden beds, your elevated beds, or your grow boxes. Okay? And so what Best Yet and her daughter did, they put this black plastic, I think they had some white, which is really fine because it will help generate more solarization with the white. But the black holds in a lot of heat too. So what they were doing, Best Yet and her daughter, they were snuffing out weeds. So next year, they just lightly turn the ground over, add some soil amendments, and they're ready to go. You have to keep thinking about your garden even when the temperature cools. I'm blessed that I can grow all year round. Thank you, Best Yet, for putting my website up. I can grow all year round, outside and in the greenhouse. But I have learned, I am not a master gardener. Let me say that first. But I have mastered my garden. Does that make sense? Easter of 21, I would have been in this house 30 years. I know it. I know the soil. I know the rainy season. I know the windy season. I know to get my insect netting off when I did, so that the high winds will make the plants and crops that I was growing in those 2 beds, toughen them up. You see, the wind helps too. Wind, rain, sun, it all helps. So I'm not a master gardener, but I know what I can and cannot do in my greenhouse and in my gardens. I know in the rainy season, don't water anything except the greenhouse, because the water doesn't get in there, but it does get condensation. And I don't have to water anything outside during the rainy season. Does that make sense? So a lot of you asked me about how do you water, how much a week. It depends. It depends on how much precipitation you get, how much wind you get. You all feel me? And you kind of know. Let your trees kind of starve a little bit too. Don't just keep flooding them and then you're getting yellow leaves because you overwater them, especially citrus trees this time of year. You want to hold back on them. Okay, so high flavor and textures. I love that name. Okay, let me go and see if we have any questions. Okay, I don't see any questions yet. If you have a question and I missed it, please go ahead and put it in all caps. Now I'm going back up to the front. And I'm going to give, because I couldn't give a gift out last week, because you all, those of you that were in here know it was buffering and buffering. And when I went back and looked at the live play, half of the questions, we were jumping all over the place. Anyway, so today, I'm going to give out 2 gifts, and they're going to be one of my products, and one is going to Best Yet Journey, and the second one is going to Broke Farmer 76. You know why? Because they were the first ones in the live. Okay? So, best yet, I have your address. Don't have to worry about it. And Broke Farmer, please email me. And best yet, would you please put the email address up and give them LadyCherylsNaturalProducts.com. Oh, at gmail.com. Myra is from 6B. Okay. Now, so I'm looking for a Broke Farmer to send me your mailing address, and I'll put Broke Farmer 76. I'll put you something in the mail that you would like. I hope you like on Wednesday morning. Now, some of the questions I saw, but I didn't write down who asked what. I just wrote down some topics. Somebody wanted to know were those olas in my garden bed and if they worked. And it was buffering, so I couldn't get the question. Because if you all remember, when it was buffering, it stalled and it wouldn't print out on my PC the questions. I couldn't see anything. So whoever that lady was, the olas work. I only use them in the summertime, July and August, and in the early part September, when we are in our drought and we have 108 degrees. And what an ola is an unglazed clay pot. And it's kind of shaped like that where it bows out. And you can put a top on it. It has an opening. And you fill it up with water. And it will ooze out because it's buried beneath the soil. And it will ooze out a little bit at a time and water your roots of your plants. And I put them in place because I knew I was going on vacation. And I came back, everything was fine. Except for spider mites and squash bugs. The plants looked healthy, but the squash bugs, I got in the vines and I didn't notice that for a couple weeks later. But as far as them being watered well, they were. Okay, so everybody understand what an ola is? And what type of white light is that on the plant? It's a grow light. You can get them at Home Depot, everywhere. And it's just a little clip-on light. And then the full spectrum light is at the top. So I got like about 3 or 4 of them in there. I have about 20 or 30 of those things. I use them in the grow room when I'm, starting seeds for the next season. But you don't have to have that full spectrum. I just want to see will it produce leaves faster. So that's why I did it. Okay, Auntie said, I saw something today about gardening with the phases of the moon. Has anybody done that, and what is the point? Okay, my grandfather did. And they would look at the Farmer's Almanac. Now the Farmer's Almanac has gotten more modernized and is on the internet, and it gives you a lot of information about your planting zones and that type of thing and what you can grow in your area. But back in the day, they used to plant by the moon and the stars, and I don't know nothing about it, but I remember Big Daddy saying that. And I remember my mother used to pierce ears by the moon, the old-fashioned way, not with the gun like what I do, with the needle. You put ice on your ear and rub it, and you let it get kind of numb. And then you put cut a white potato in half and put it behind your ear. And then you thread your needle and you burn it. And then you dip it in peroxide and then you just stab it. And then you grab the potato and the string comes through. And then you tie it and they dipped it in peroxide. And those people that had their ears pierced like that, they never broke out. But you see, nowadays they're using nickel that separates itself and gets up in your skin, and then you have rashes and all of that. So when I had the beauty salon in the mall for 10 years, we used a 24-karat gold-plated earring. And we just charged you for the earring, and we did the ear piercing free. Because I would rather do a real good earring and, again, have a satisfied customer. Do you all know that I pierced 5 little girls in one family? Every time they had a baby, it was a girl. A young couple, loving, sweet couple. And every 5 of those girls, I pierced their ears. And I pierced all my grandbabies' ears as soon as they came home from the hospital. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can catch some questions. The location of the live shows and address. Oh, no, I just put Mesquite. Does it have an address on there? What? What? Let me see if I can edit that, honey child. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Okay, there's my edit button. But I don't see no address. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll change it as soon as this is over. I got cameras and all that around here. I'm not worried about it right now. Okay, but thank you, whoever that was that brought that to my attention. I'll take care of it. Okay, now. Okay, now I got to go back in because I couldn't edit. So the cheap ones. Yeah. Ouch, you're talking about old school piercing with a needle. Yep. And then after it healed up, you would put a straw, not the little nylon brooms we have today, the real, dip in peroxide and put a little straw in your ear. And you had that in your ear for 4 months. I'm trying, Wanda, but it won't let me. That's not my right address, so don't worry about it, guys. Okay, don't worry about it, guys. That's not my address. Okay, do I have a question? Okay, so if I don't have a question, you had to burn the straw, said David. Broom straw, that's right. Yes, ma'am, couldn't tell us said that's how her grandmother pierced her ears. And you didn't have rashes and stuff, and you didn't get infected. You get infected with those cheap earrings that you go to those bazaars and get. Okay. All right. So now, I told you about the wind toughening up your plants, because this time of year, you're going to get this. Cabbage worms. You see on there? You're going to see that ugly cabbage moth. I showed you a picture of one live in my video last week. And I'm looking to see if I can find a buy-sell date on here. This is called Monterey BT. It's for organic gardening, and it controls caterpillars on fruit trees, shade trees, vegetable gardens. And I'm telling you guys, okay, I can see how much is in here. There's a little line right there. I done had this about 5 years. You don't need a lot. So when I tell you to get a product, I'm not telling you go out and buy everything. Oh, I thought it had a little date, but it's rubbed off. But I know I've had it a long time, okay? You only need a little. I haven't used it yet. I haven't used it yet because I haven't seen any cabbage worms. And here is my fermented insect repellent. It stinks. I put it in this jug. And it has, and I told you last week, and you can look at my playlist, and somebody might want to put my playlist for insect control. It's garlic, onions, and crushed red pepper. Then I put it in a spray bottle. And then I go out in the morning and I mix it all around. Now, if I have a problem with the cabbage worms, here you go. I got it. But if I use the deterrent, I may not ever have to use this year. It just depends how bad they are. And then I showed you in the video the other day that I had a spray bottle with just Dawn dish soap in it. And then here's the top I lost. Here is the cold pressed neem oil. Now this is safe for your garden. You can even use it in your hair and your skin. I'm not telling you all to do that, and I don't use any neem oil in my products. I'm just telling you pure cold pressed neem oil. Now some of you in my Facebook group, there might have been one person in that group, used some neem oil and it fried. So a lot of times it'll say neem oil on the spray bottle, but it has very little neem oil in it. Just like imitation vanilla and real vanilla extract. Get the real thing, pure cold pressed neem oil, and it'll last you a long time. This bottle this was almost gone. It's about right here. But it'll get me through the winter. And I'll probably be using it in the greenhouse if nothing else. Okay? And then I showed you this in my video. And the last time I showed it, I got inundated with emails giving me all these homemade remedies. And I hope I didn't come across too crass because that was not my intent. I've used baking soda, peroxide, alcohol, milk, water on this strand of powdery mildew fungus, and it didn't work. And when I put the peroxide, I even did it on one of the fig trees back in the spring on this side of the food forest. And it burnt up the leaves. But the Serenade, you can use it, and your leaves look like nothing has touched it. Okay? As long as you use it in under 80-degree weather. So, that's why I say Serenade. Now, I'm watching Serenade. I got a lot in here. I've had this probably about 4 years. I got enough in here to get me all through the winter. Okay? And it'll also help you with your black spot on your roses, rust spots on your grapevines, a lot of things. Okay? Okay. Lynn O said, thank you for recommending Stark Brothers. My first peach tree just arrived. All right. Silvara said, BT saved my greens from worms. Yes, it really will help. Okay. Yes, David, it has to be cold pressed. It's like extra virgin olive oil. There's a difference between olive oil or olive oil mix or something than extra virgin olive oil. Cintisha, hi, how are you? She says she loves the BT. I use it all summer in the evenings, doesn't burn your plants. Exactly. Spray it on the right time of the day. Lori Huntsaker, she has 2 grapefruit plants, need to separate. How can I do it safely? You've got 2 grapefruit plants in one pot. It'll be easy. I'm assuming they're in one pot. It'll be very easy. Get you a tarp. Loosen all around the container. Loosen it around. Lay it over on its side. Grab the bark right there. Grab the bark right there. And then the hole, you got some holes in your pot. And pull in opposite directions. I can't do it together, but like this. Pull in opposite directions. Now, because you have 2 grapefruit plants, And if you can separate them, that means they're not that big. They're not that old.